I'm going to begin. I'll start with you, Roy. When playing detectives, do you find your reference points are real detectives? Do you do any research into that world? Or has the kind of classic detective character become so ingrained into kind of fabric of cinematic storytelling that your reference points are actually just other detectives from movies?
I think that cinematically, you can go back and look at, a lot of, the traditional 90s American films where it's a grizzled detective and but I actually watch a lot of First 48. I don't know if you all
Me
have that
too.
over there, but in the States, we have a reality show where they follow homicide detectives around and as they investigate actual murders. And they are pretty laid back. Some crack a joke here and there, but they're nothing like what you see on television. And so when we look at the way Jon Hamm is performing the character of Fletch, it's not as heightened of a version of what was done by Chevy Chase in the 80s. And so it's something that comedically is a different tone. So if he's playing it grounded, then I feel like I need to be grounded myself. And so that's kind of what, the way we did it. I have two cops in my family, and they were both like, you need to come on a ride along with me to learn the job. And I'm like, hey, man, half the movie, I'm asleep. Okay, because I'm a tired father.
Yeah.
I don't need to know any car pursuit. I don't need to know any hand-to-hand combat. If anything, Ayden, you were the one that needed to learn driving.
I did all the driving. We also had crew members that one of our drivers, her husband was with the Worcester Police Department, and he was a detective. So I talked to her for a while, and yeah, I think everyone just gets pretty tired. It's an exhausting job.
Yeah.
Because Ayden, how was it approaching this kind of tonally? Because you're playing, in some ways, the kind of straight characters, but they're also quite quirky characters. So was it a challenge being quite comedic and light where the film required, and yet having the responsibility of kind of being the straight man to do whatever he wants Fletch character, if that makes any sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was tricky to figure out at first, but once I realized that it was like, okay, this just has to be a real person who means what she says, and we believe that this is a real human being. The situations are funny, just the lines and the dynamics. So there wasn't a lot of like having to be funny. It was more just like believing in what I'm doing, and some of what I'm doing is ridiculous.
Yeah. Because Roy, I was going to say, it's such a slick screenplay that I'm assuming there's not a great deal of improvisation was encouraged, if at all. But when you come with a sort of comedic background, is it ever hard not to bring a little bit of yourself into it, just to riff a little, or do you have to kind of keep that locked in?
It is very tempting. And, my stand-up is a little bit more high octane than this character. So the way I just saw it the way in my head it was, if you get too excited, you are doing this character wrong and you are ruining the film, and Jon Hamm will be sad. So calm down.
No pressure.
If you think you're going too slow, go slower. Yeah. So no, but even within that tonal shift, there's still opportunities for little moments of comedic improv. And, Jon Hamm is definitely someone that's willing to give you an opportunity that, hey, let's try it this way. You want to do something your way? Okay, cool. Also, our wonderful, wonderful director, Greg Mottola, was also at the top of the scene before we even rehearse it. How do you see it?
Yeah,
what do you see
genius.
this? Yeah. And so that was really dope as well.
Yeah. And Ayden, how was it? I've met Jon Hamm about 3 times now, and he's a charming bastard, to put it one way of putting it. Also a very funny guy, but very hardworking. How was he like? What was he like to collaborate with on this project? Because he's in pretty much every single scene, really.
Yeah, I was like, how are you alive? Like, you're working every single day. Like, I get to go back to the hotel and hang out and walk to breakfast or whatever. And he's there every day. But he was still charming and lovely and warm and professional. And like Roy said, we improvised a lot, and Greg created such a collaborative environment that we all just had fun. It was easy. I know it's work, but it was fun.
Easy is a good thing. If they could all be easy, we'd all be very happy.
I know.
Well, thank you so much, and best luck with the release of the movie, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey